Good evening. This is Tanya with Marshall Reddick Real Estate. I'm so happy you all joined us this evening. Can I please get a hello? I can hear you fine. I just want to make sure that the tech side of everything is working well for us. Off to the right, there's a chat button. If you could just write hi, that would be perfect. Awesome. I see everyone saying hello. Great. All right, well, I'm going to get started. San Antonio, Texas in general has been all over the news of where people are moving to due to jobs, affordability, the great things that it has to offer that we're going to be covering in the greater metropolitan areas of San Antonio. All right, let's see here. Here we are, a little bit about Marshall Reddick. If you guys are brand new to meeting us, I see a lot of familiar names on here. But if you guys are here with us for the first time, thank you for coming. We've been around since 1979. We're a one-stop shop. What that means is in real estate, you hear go build your team. Well, we are a team and we've built it over the years with the best of the best from every single aspect, from property management, real estate agents, lenders, insurance brokers, everybody that you could need, we have at your fingertips. Of course, I say trust, but verify everything that we share with you. And the majority of everybody moves forward with our vendors because it's just a streamlined process. The best thing that I found, my parents actually found many years ago, over 20 years ago, the free education, which is what you're enjoying tonight, right? So you're here tonight to learn more about San Antonio and why it may or may not be the best place for you to invest. In all that, Marshall Reddick is a brokerage, so we help people buy and sell across the United States. Every single place that we help people, there's property management to help with single family or multifamily. And if you can't qualify for conventional financing, we have private financing. That's a fun topic, and we have multiple recorded webinars. Happy to share those with you at another time, where you can be the bank and make money on lending on real property. This is me, been with the company for 8 years now, and I absolutely love all things real estate. Been a California licensed broker since 2011, and I do about 7 sales on average per month. I am able to help people buy and sell in California, as well as all the areas that we're in that you'll see on our upcoming slide. Here are all the areas that we are currently heavily driven in. All the dark gray areas. If any of these catch your eye, go ahead and write that down on a yellow pad so that we can talk about that later. But we're here to talk about our San Antonio team. Why do we choose where to invest and we're only in those 16 markets? We focus on, is the job market strong? How long does it take to fill vacancies? Is there economic diversity, meaning it's not a Detroit where it's just a one industry type of place? Is the housing affordable? Is it landlord friendly? You know, California is not landlord friendly. That doesn't mean it's not a great place to buy, but every place we're in besides California is definitely landlord friendly, and that is not a mistake. Strong education, usually universities are nearby, and the most important part is reliable property management. That all being said, that being data driven, we look at the statistics of every area that we consider to be in. And San Antonio is one of those very strong and stable markets. As you can see on this graph, it goes all the way back to 1995. It's just a steady growth pattern. Now, one thing I like to point out is we all remember what happened in 2008, right? This was not a major shift like it was in California, right? That would have been a huge downward turn and then a right back up to where we are. But this is just hedging along with a great appreciation rate. Now here we look at what that means for the property classes, and Marshall Reddick has a book on how we evaluate housing classes A, B, or C, and that's based on the median home price. So here on this heat chart, it'll show you if you buy a house for over $236,000, that's going to land in the A class range, and so on. Now, when you're looking at this, what does that mean? Classes, right? Classes of neighborhood. What does that mean to you? Well, on this heat chart, you can see the lower you go on the alphabet, yes, you'll be receiving more cash flow, but you'll also be receiving more risk. So you're going to have lower tenant quality, higher turnover rates, which is the most expensive part of being a landlord and an investor. So try to steer over here. Your life will be much happier. Here we go on. I want to introduce Christina. Christina and I have worked together for years. And one thing I know about her and admire is she's so driven and she gives her all. So whenever you're speaking with her, once we get you connected, just be prepared because she's going to share exactly what it is that you're looking for. Christina, are you there?
Yes, I sure am. Thank you so much, Tanya. I love working with you, Tanya. We have been working together for years. I am so lucky to have this opportunity to work with Marshall Reddick. I've been working with Marshall Reddick for about 5 years now. And before that, I've been in the real estate industry since 1999. So it's been a while. I started off as a loan officer. For 15 years, I was a loan officer. I know purchase contracts and financial numbers like the back of my hand. I loved real estate then, and I love real estate now. And I decided to become a licensed agent. And I'm so happy to work with Marshall Reddick because that's what my passion is. And I lived in San Antonio for all my life. My husband's military. We have 2 amazing kids. They keep me very busy. As probably all y'all have, kids and husbands and wives and everything. But the whole thing is, it's part of our life. Real estate is part of my life. So let me go ahead and go on to the next slide and present. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to go back. It kind of like delayed me here when I try to hit my button. But this is a picture of our team. Marshall Reddick has a brick and mortar office. An office in San Antonio back in November of 2017. So there was under Marshall Reddick in 2017 when we started our Marshall Reddick office. We brought over a lot of our clients from our prior third-party broker that we were working with. And then now we have plenty of properties. We have over 600 properties, which I'll present later. But this is our team. This is the front of our office. This is when we just got our sign installed. That's our property management team that you see in front of the picture, as well as Scott Pastel and Ross Nelson, our CEO. That's me, the short blonde one. But you see everybody there, and then you see our holiday party, you see our Thanksgiving party, and in the front of our office. The whole purpose of these pictures is to show us that we are a family. We work as a team, as a family together. I may be in sales, but I work in the same office with the property management team. I work in the same office with our leasing agents, with our tenant coordinators, with our maintenance coordinators. We all work together. So we're one big family that work together. So we have 3 divisions. We have sales, leasing, and management. Full service real estate property management. We specialize in single family and multifamily, which we're going to present. So we're 100% turnkey, one-stop shop. That makes it so easy for you as the investor because you don't have to go after your sale and after you close, you don't have to go shopping around for a property manager. And then you don't have to go shopping around for a maintenance guys. Everything is in all one-stop shop. We have everything to make your life easy because we know you're busy. You most likely have a life, full-time job, family. It's our job to do your real estate matters. This is a great map of San Antonio. So people don't realize how big San Antonio is. They think, oh, they think of Texas, they think of Austin, they think of Dallas or Houston. San Antonio is actually a huge metroplex city. We're really big. We're bigger than Austin if you look at the space wise, like how big our area is. To drive from one side of town to the other side of town, it will take you an hour. That's how big San Antonio is. I relate the size mass of San Antonio to LA. There's so many surrounding parts of our city. So we have a lot of businesses throughout our city that people just think downtown, downtown. Well, that's just a small percentage of businesses that are downtown. We have a lot of businesses that are on the northeast side of San Antonio and the northwest side. So we sell a lot of properties in certain areas, and we like to stay away from certain areas for particular reasons. But this map, it shows you a good broad view of San Antonio. I know it looks kind of busy, but it shows you where the key points are. We're known as Military City, so we have 4 military bases. We have Lackland Air Force Base and Kelly Air Force Base on the west side of the city, which is on one side of town. And then we have 2 other military bases on the northeast side of town, Randolph and Fort Sam Houston. And then we also have Six Flags, Fiesta Texas, which is a great, huge amusement park. That's very fun. That's really close to where I live. And then SeaWorld, we do have SeaWorld. People are like, you have SeaWorld in San Antonio? Yes, we do. It's very fun. A lot of people come from all over to visit it. We also have a lot of different businesses. USAA is one of the major companies, not just, I mean, it's just one of the many, but USAA is like a huge insurance, and they deal with everything. They deal with insurance for military. They have banking for not just military, but non-military. They deal with life insurance. I mean, you name it, home loans, they do it all. And then, of course, we have our Riverwalk, downtown San Antonio, beautiful tourist destination. But that's just to give you an idea of how big our city is. And I love this picture because it shows the downtown Riverwalk. It's so beautiful downtown, especially this time of year. They put the Christmas lights out at night. It looks beautiful. It's you can decide to eat outside right next to the Riverwalk or inside. They have plenty of dining. We're actually, a lot of people are asking about COVID right now, like what our capacity is. The restaurants are open right now. We're at 75% capacity. So that's indoor dining, and we have outdoor dining too. But we're at 75%. You do have to wear masks, but when you sit at the table, you do not have to. So as long as you're sitting at your table, you don't have to wear a mask. It's just when you're walking around, you have to wear a mask. So that's, a lot of people have that question. And then the bars are open at 50% capacity, but they have to serve some type of food, and whether it's a small appetizer or something. So, we've been pretty much open. Schools are open also. Even in-person school, my daughter, she went back to school in person. They have to wear masks and they're still social distancing. But if the parents decide to keep them remotely, they have that option too. So I know a lot of people are asking about that. So I want to answer those questions while we're on this webinar right now, because that's a huge topic right now. But Texas has been really good with that. This shows all the pictures of our major what we're known for, like the Alamo. The Alamo is downtown in the left side. And then you see the Air Force symbol. So many people in the military that get stationed here, they may move away because they get stationed elsewhere. They come back and retire here because they love the cost of living and they love the weather and they love San Antonio. So we have so many military vets that come back that live here for good. And then, of course, the regular active duty military. And then you have UTSA, which is that little Roadrunner, little bird you see on the right side. That's our University, Texas, San Antonio. That's our state, our city university, and it's very popular, huge. And we have a nice football team there. And of course, we have our San Antonio Spurs. But this just shows all the businesses, and it's a good picture of it. This is a little snapshot of our population throughout the years. This goes back to the year 2000. I want to mention this is only San Antonio alone. San Antonio has a lot of surrounding areas within the middle of the city, throughout the city, the outskirts of the city that has its own police station and everything. So like if I can relate to like, I guess, LA, they have West Hollywood. That's part of LA, but they have their own police station. So it's a different population. You know, you have other parts that may have their own population, but they're still part of the city. I want to mention with San Antonio, when you see 2020, it shows over 1.5 million population. That doesn't include all the surrounding areas like Helotes, Leon Valley, Live Oak, Converse. All of those are in the middle of the city, throughout the city. When you put in all that population, we're closer to 2.5 million. So I just want to say that this is just for San Antonio city limits alone. But like I live in Helotes, I have friends that live in Converse. I have a lot of people in Live Oak. All of that bleeds in the middle of the city with their own population. So when you add that together, we're 2.5 million population, which, you know, I know seems like not that big in other areas. It's really big in San Antonio. And then it keeps growing and growing. We keep getting a lot of people relocating here from all over the country. This is a really good, if you want to read up and do your research on San Antonio, Texas, look on our website. This is an ebook that we have. This compiles all your work for you. You don't have to Google and do all this. It's updated. All you have to do is go onto our website, education, go into this market, San Antonio, and you can read this ebook. It has all the demographics, everything you need to know about San Antonio. So this is my favorite part of the presentation. I handpicked these properties. It's very, very time consuming for me every week. I'm constantly looking through the MLS. I don't just put everything on the MLS. I put hand selected properties because people say, what's your best? What's your cream of the crop? What is good? And I want good areas. Where I'm not going to put any properties on our website that are not in good areas. What I put on our website is going to be in good areas that we know will lease out fast, that we know that you would get good appreciation, continued increases in rents, that you know, just have good school districts, all of that good stuff. So these are single family homes I'm presenting right now. So this first single family home, it's in a really nice area. It's called Shirt. So you know how I said San Antonio has different surrounding parts within the city? Well, this is within the city of San Antonio, but it's called Shirts. It's a suburb of San Antonio. So it's right there in the middle of San Antonio. And it's very, very highly desired area. The schools are excellent. It's mainly primary homeowners. There's not many rentals there. So whenever properties go for rent, they don't last long on the market for rent because it's mainly just like for primary homeowners. But this property was a recent MLS listing that just came on the market a couple days ago. I just put it on. It's showing the list price for $220,000. If you put your down payment of $25,000, it shows you everything that you need to know about what your monthly expenses are. These are your fixed monthly expenses. This is considered a Class A property. I know how Tanya showed you that grid with Class A, Class B, Class C. Keep in mind that with this price point, most of the houses in this neighborhood are 250 on up. So this is going to be the smaller home in the neighborhood, but it still makes it a Class A property because it's mixed with mainly Class A properties. So when you can always get the lower price in the neighborhood, that helps your appreciation stay high. And hey, you can get a good deal for it. It was built not too long ago in 2009. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. And after all the fixed expenses, as on the right side of the screen, you can see we can rent this property out for $1,650 a month. And after all your fixed expenses, including taxes, insurance, the HOA is very low on this. After all your fixed expenses, your monthly income is almost $370 a month, which is really high for a single family house. Most single family houses that we sell average about $200 a month cash flow. But keep in mind, each year your cash flow will increase usually by $50 because we tend to increase rents by $50 upon lease renewal. So if someone's paying $1,650 a month rent, the next year we renew their lease at $1,700 a month, and then next year 18. It just goes on and on. It's not high enough to scare off the tenant because it's probably more expensive for them to move. But as the market increases, so do your rent, and so does your cash flow. So keep that in mind. What your cash flow shows year one, it's going to be a lot higher in year 5, year 10, and imagine year 15. It'll be like $1,000 a month by then. So let me go to the second property. It's on Crimson Star. It's a nice 1-story single family home. It's listed at $239,900. And it was built in 2007. Very spacious. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. We usually like to stay with 3-bedroom, 2-bath properties for single family because that's what tends to be what's wanted in, with tenants. That's like the norm. That's the most that's rented out. And the square footage is pretty big. It's 1,731 square feet. And we can rent it out for $1,650 a month. And after all your fixed expenses, you're coming out with $276 a month, monthly cash. But the big thing is your appreciation. Your appreciation is going to be tremendous in this area. It's a great area, excellent schools, low vacancy rate, very low maintenance. Tenants tend to stay longer term. Most of these properties we sell are in HOAs, but our HOAs are very low. They're not like California, okay? They're very low. We're talking about $200 a year, $300 a year. This one's very cheap. And they're not overly like you don't have to get permission for every little deal, but for major renovations, you do. And they're not overly strict, okay? Because I'm part of an HOA company where in my neighborhood, I'm actually one of the board members. And, they only have to send permission if they're going to change the paint a different color of the neighborhood. Like they can't change it like a purple or a pink. It has to match the same neighborhood, colors. They can't do any funky like that would be odd to the neighborhood. As long as it goes with the neighborhood, it helps preserve your appreciation, and it keeps your appreciation going high. Because the neighborhoods that don't have HOAs in San Antonio, we rarely sell those because they're in bad areas and they're declining and it's hard to get increased rents. So these HOAs are very, very low and the tenant rent pays for that. So here's the third single family property. It's big. It's a 2-story home located off of Regal Rose. It's in the Stone Oak area, which is the northeast side of San Antonio. Excellent schools. There's so much new development now here. It's $254,500. It is a Class A property built in 2004. It's almost 2,000 square feet at 1,988. After all, and we could get the rent at $1,795 a month. And after all your fixed expenses, your income would be over $250 a month, which is great. Keep in mind, that's just the first year. Each year, it will continue to grow, usually by $50 each year. So year 2, it'll be closer to $300 a month. Year 3, $350, and on and on. So keep that in mind. Another thing I want to mention about our slides here, when you look at the 15-year projected profit and then the 15-year annual ROI on the very bottom corner, the ROI shows 19.30%. That does not take into consideration the rental increases that we will be doing each year. This is assuming we're going to keep the rent right at $1,795 for 15 years, which is not likely. So that's just being extremely conservative. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to talk about a really great community that we have listed. It's a new duplex community in right about 15-20 minutes outside of San Antonio called Seguin, Texas, and it's only 15-20 minutes outside San Antonio. It's not out in the boonies. It's not like in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of businesses in Seguin. This is the location map of Seguin. You see that big blue star and that major highway, which I'm sure a lot of Californians are familiar with, IH-10, because IH-10 takes us from San Antonio to California. So, it's not far from San Antonio. And when I have a lot of clients come in from out of town and they meet me in my office, which we're located in the middle of San Antonio, close to the airport, and I drive them, which I usually drive IH-10 to Seguin, they don't realize I'm leaving San Antonio. They're like, oh, I didn't know we left San Antonio. It's because it's all highway and there's tons of businesses. And it's like, well, we just passed technically San Antonio, when you see those little signs that say leaving San Antonio, but then there's all these businesses off the highway and boom, we're in Seguin. It's like those communities are like, okay, I left, but it just seems like I'm part of the city because there's all these businesses. Well, that's how I can relate Seguin to San Antonio. We just consider it part of our market, part of our city. Our property manager, Emily Sanders, lives in New Braunfels. That's where she lives, and she works in our office in San Antonio. She commutes, and it only takes her about 30 minutes to get to work every day. Same thing with Seguin. It's only about a 30-minute drive from Seguin to our office. It's not that long because we're centrally located where our office is. So, and it's about a 60-minute drive from Austin, so it's about an hour away. But Seguin's a great market because of the employers. They're mainly a manufacturing city, which is good because that means they have a lot of essential workers. So Seguin has a lot of manufacturing companies, a lot. When I drive to Seguin, I see them all throughout the highway. Caterpillar is probably one of the biggest ones. They have over 2,000 employees. They're a huge company. They build a lot of construction equipment. There's Visico Technologies. They're another manufacturing company, huge, over 1,500 employees. And then we have the Seguin Independent School District. We're seeing a lot of school teachers and school administration staff as tenants, and they make good money. They're part of a union. They got, reliable income. And a lot of these manufacturing companies have union workers. They've been working there for years. And many of these tenants have been living in northeast part of San Antonio and having to commute from northeast of San Antonio to Seguin to go to their jobs. And again, it's only 15-20 minutes away. It takes me longer for me to drive from where I live to my office because of all the traffic in the middle of San Antonio. But Seguin, it has not been a big rental market. It's been usually mainly a primary homeowner market. So we're the only brand new duplex community in Seguin. We don't have much competition when it comes to rentals. You go to other markets that are flooded with rentals and you have all this competition. Seguin, we don't have much. It's either the few rentals that are out there in Seguin that are not in our community. It's either older homes that are outdated or very high-end expensive homes that are way above the income people are looking for. So that's what makes us stand out in this community, and we're doing good for this community for making affordable, nice rentals for these tenants that work in Seguin to actually live in Seguin. So it goes on and on. There's Tyson Foods, there's Guadalupe County, there's the medical regional medical center. So we do see a lot of medical professionals that are tenants of ours that are RNs, nurses, x-ray techs, lab techs. Texas Lutheran University, we see a lot of those, the university admin staff as well. HEB is one of our biggest grocery stores. We see a lot of those employees, whether they're bakers, truck drivers, overnight stockers, or just regular employees. And then City of Seguin, the regular City of Seguin, we see some of those tenants as well. So it's a good mixture of essential workers. We have no problem renting these out. And we started renting these out in like April, in March, April, and May. We had no problems renting these out during that time. And we're still having no problems renting them out. We have a lot of traffic of people coming into the community. Before I get to the next slide, we have a leasing agent, different leasing agents working in actually on site in the community at the model unit as a leasing agent. So they're there almost every other day. And we have a lot of signs that say leasing office with arrows pointing to it and renting now. So we get the traffic from the busy streets that they go into the community to our leasing office and talk to our leasing agent, say, hey, I want to look at these. I'm interested in renting these. So we're getting that population from the traffic, and we have no problems renting them out. We have a lot of pool of people still looking. So this is a very high demand area. The cost of living and population growth, Seguin has been increasing by 18% in population each year since 2010. So this is a good projection of the population to grow by 2030, set at 40K and then 40 or 50,000 by 2040. That's pretty huge. But there's a lot of new home developments happening in Seguin. These brand new homes are single family homes from different builders like D.R. Horton, Lennar, and they're happening all around Seguin, but they're only allowing primary homeowners. They're not allowing investors to buy. So that's something good to know about that. This shows you the overall cost of living. So Seguin, compared to San Antonio, it's, you got the 90% compared to the 100% par mark. So it's about 10% lower than the average cost of living. San Antonio is about 86. So you see the difference in the other cities. Dallas is really high. It's actually above par a little. But Seguin and San Antonio are pretty good. But Seguin's right next door to New Braunfels too. That's good to keep in mind. This is a good map that shows the new development that's happening in Seguin with single family homes. Like I said, D.R. Horton, Lennar, KB, and you see them all around in different colors. And they're only allowing primary homeowners. They're not allowing investors to buy until they fully get out of the community. And then you have to buy pre-owned if you're going to be an investor. But you can see where all this new development is happening. And then you can see where our number 26 that's circled, that's our community with our duplex community. So we're pretty much in the middle of Seguin, which is a great location. But you can see all these other new home builders that have already done their research, already spent money on the land. They wouldn't be building there if they didn't believe that they wouldn't sell these homes. So there's a lot of new growth. You're getting in early. This happened in New Braunfels. New Braunfels is a high-end area now, but back in the day, it was like Seguin. It didn't have as big population. It kept growing, and now it's high priced. So you can get in early right now before it gets high priced, just like New Braunfels, but it's right next door to New Braunfels.
One thing that, sorry to interject, Christina, one thing to notice, and it's probably was very small, the key off to the left with the numbers, those numbers were correlating to how many units were being built. So tons of units are coming to being built. And I love that this community that we're in, as Christina said, is allowing renters. So it'll be minimal competition.
True. Thank you. Yeah, for that point. That's so true. But yeah, this is a nice snapshot of the picture of the front of the community or front of the duplex. This is our model unit. It's beautiful. Basically, I like to explain it that there are two single family houses connected together by one wall, because it's very rare to have a duplex that's one story. Most of them are 2 stories, and they're very narrow. They don't have high ceilings. They're very narrow. But this is these have high ceilings, and they have 2 car garages. Most of them have 1 car garage or may not even have a car garage. So these have 2 car garages for each unit, long driveways. You can fit 4 cars on each driveway, 2 cars in the front of the driveway, 2 cars right behind. So if you really wanted to fit 6 cars, you could fit 2 inside the garage and 4 on the outside. There's a lot of parking space. The driveways are long, landscaping's nice, inside's beautiful, very contemporary, has high ceilings, concrete stained flooring. It comes with all the appliances, including the refrigerator, built-in microwave, stove, dishwasher, garbage disposal. It has full-size washer dryer connections. The tenant does bring their own washer and dryer. It's very common in Texas for the tenant to bring their washer and dryer. Keep that in mind, okay? As long as we have the full-size connections for them, that even in apartments, you know, they just provide the connections and the tenants bring their washer and dryer, which is greater for you. That's one less thing you have to worry about repairing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Tanya.
Oh, I was going to say exactly. In a market like Texas, where it's common for a tenant to bring their own appliances, that's just one less thing for a tenant to, mess up and then have you repair. So it's really a wonderful thing that it's a very independent area.
Yeah, and it is common for the landlord to provide a fridge. So that I always, and when you buy pre-owned homes, like pre-owned single family homes, a lot of times the sellers will remove the fridge and take it with them wherever they move because that's, a big expense. But the fridge isn't built in. You unplug it, you take it with you. But the oven is considered built in, the built-in microwave is considered built in, and the same thing with the stove. So but this is a good thing. The builder here provides the fridge, and it already includes the blinds. It comes with the faux wood blinds that are nice, and it has all the grass and landscaping. The backyard has full sod grass, even on the side of the side of the yard. It comes with full sod and sprinkler systems. That's a big deal. Sprinkler systems. It's very rare to get a sprinkler system on a rental. Usually, the tenant has to get the hose connected to one of those, screw-on sprinklers and everything. But this one has a sprinkler system that they could set the timer, the days, because we have a lot of rainy seasons, so you don't need the sprinkler on every day. So they can set it to do it like twice a week or like every other day. Like the summer gets really hot, so they probably want it every other day. But the tenant gets to, change that time flow because they pay for the water bill. So the tenant pays for their own electric, their own water bill. They have separate meters, so you don't have to worry about that. The tenant sets everything up under their name. And this also has a 10-year builder warranty. This is a peace of mind. Buying a new property, you're not going to have to worry about maintenance for a long time. We have our property management team has the builder warranty contact. So if anything breaks down, we get with the builder warranty contacts and they fix it. So it's going to be a long time before you have to worry about maintenance, which is nice. You let it appreciate, and it's in a good area. It's beautiful, big. These are so easy to show. This is our model unit. This is not virtually staged. This has real furniture in it. Check this size furniture. It's got a full sectional in there. And there's so much space. You got your table section where they get their table at right there. You got your huge sectional. They can put their TV on the other side. It's just so much space, and that concrete stained flooring is a big deal. It's very common in Texas to have concrete stained flooring. Different markets have different, types of flooring. Texas gets really hot, especially in San Antonio and Seguin during the summer. So the concrete stained flooring keeps it cooler, and it's easy to clean. It's almost indestructible. It'll last throughout all your tenants. Maybe every 10 or 12 years, you may have to restain it, but that's it. It's very easy to maintain. They can put their rugs, down like you see in the photo there, they put the rug down around their sectional. They could put a rug down around their bed area in their room, but it's very easy to maintain, very easy to clean, and people like that. Tenants like that. It's very hard to destroy. You're not having to replace carpet every year. There's no carpet whatsoever, not even in the bedrooms. It's all that nice, shiny, sleek, concrete, stained flooring. And you see those stainless steel appliances. It looks beautiful. Granite countertops. Look at that. It's got that gray granite countertop. There's no Formica. It's all granite in the kitchen and in the bathrooms. So that will last a long time. It's got deep sinks. It's beautiful. High ceilings, recessed lighting. The master bedroom, you can see on the left side with the ceiling fan. That's the queen size bed in there with the big dresser, and there's still plenty of space. It's got double vanity sink in the bathroom, a nice walk-in shower with the ceramic tile background. It's beautiful. You can go to the backyard from the master. So right there on the right side, you see a back door that takes you outside to the back patio unit. You can also get outside to the backyard from the living room. There's a side door where they walk on the side where people put their trash cans outside, and they can walk to their backyard from there. And there's also a back door in the master bedroom. It's got a huge master walk-in closet. And then the backyard patio is beautiful. It's covered. It's got a ceiling fan. This also shows the other 2 bedrooms. It's a 3-bedroom, so that shows the other 2 bedrooms. It's nice size. You could use it as an office or as a guest room or for the kids. It just shows you different angles. But the nice thing about this is the backyard has a covered patio, which is really nice to have that covered patio. And you still have a backyard. You can't see it well in those pictures, but you go down the stairs and there's grass and there's, a nice sized backyard. Private fenced in. Nobody shares a yard. It's privately fenced in from the other unit. The special builder promotion. This is a big deal. This promotion is only good until the end of the year. It ends literally on December 31st of this year. So you only have a couple weeks to take advantage of these builder promotions. There's 2 options. Most people are going to be financing, which is great because the builder will actually provide $7,500 in seller's concession. That's basically a builder credit. That's money back to you of $7,500 that the lender, our preferred lender, will either help you decide if you want to use it for a rate buy down or if you want to use it for closing costs. It's up to you. So most of our clients, when they're financing, choose to do the rate buy down because it gets the rate as low as 3%, depending on your credit. But the builder will pay for that rate buy down for you. So that's not out of your pocket, that's out of the builder's pocket. And then you also get 1 year of free property management. That's 12 months free property management for both units. And all of our, most of our leases are 12 months. So that gives you a chance for that 12-month lease, to try us out, risk-free. You can't beat that. Option 2 is having your closing costs reduced by $7,500. Okay, so you either want to use that $7,500 towards your rate to buy it down, or if you already think, hey, I already got a good rate, I'll use it just for my closing costs. You have that option. You could talk with Reed, our preferred lender, and he'll help you decide between that. But that's the financing side. And this shows you the snapshot of the numbers breakdown with the conventional financing, taking those incentives into place. This is using the rate buy down to 3%. Your monthly cash flow with a 3% rate after all fixed expenses is $718 a month. That's really good for a duplex. That is really good. So that's what most of our clients are doing. But say if you're doing cash, okay? Say, hey, I want to pay cash, but I still want to take advantage of an incentive. Well, we have that for you. We can reduce the purchase price down by $4,900. So that's almost $5,000 off of the purchase price. And we'll reduce your closing costs by $2,500. The reason the closing cost is smaller is because on cash deals, the closing cost isn't going to be as high as finance deals. It's going to be closer down to like $2,500 or less. So you still get to take advantage of that full 7,500, but you'll get the reduced price, and then you'll get it down to your closing cost paid. So, and then you also get the 1-year free property management. So I love, and this shows you the snapshot of what your cash flow would be. Of course, if you pay cash, you're not having a mortgage payment. Look at that cash flow, $1,839 a month. What a deal. Can you imagine paying $375,000 in California and getting that kind of cash flow? This is a great market in Texas, so it's really good. So now I'll hand it over to you, Tanya.
All
For a
right,
quick
thank you. I am going to have Scott Pastel launch the poll. So we're going to go ahead and get that launched so that you guys can see the questions. First and foremost, how can we help you guys go further? You guys have been on this webinar with us for almost an hour now, and let us know. Go ahead and click one of those boxes. Send me the market data package. That's that package that has all of the jobs and statistics that we've kind of covered throughout the presentation. Start sharing properties with me. Christina and I will start sharing more inventory with you specific to your needs. We can get on a call and target it down to certain pockets of different markets that appeal to you. And I want to talk with you and Christina for the next steps, or obviously all the above. So go ahead, click on that. We'll give you one more minute, and then please close it out and share the results. All right, I think that Scott is closing it out to share. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like 84% would like the data package and 50% want to look at more properties and 13% want all the above. We are happy to help you get started. Okay, now we'll go back to the PowerPoint.
And Tony, if you click on your screen and then use the keyboard, it should start working.
Not working for me. Christina, do you see the PowerPoint still?
No, I'm sorry, Jen. I just see where
I think the PowerPoint's over.
Yeah, I think it
There you
ended.
go. You're good. It's up now. Go ahead.
Well, is there a way? Oh, there it is. I see it now.
Thanks, guys, for bearing with us on this technical difficulty. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about after you go ahead and buy this property, what does Marshall Reddick Property Management do for you, right? That's the most important part of babysitting the baby that you just invested in. So just like a stockbroker takes care of your stocks, we manage your property to take care of that financial piece to your puzzle. So when a tenant moves out, we have a team that we organize that goes out and gets fix up costs to get it rented quickly. It has to go back on at market rent. So we don't want to give your property away. We want to make the most money for you because that goes hand in hand. The Marshall Reddick team does not make any money unless you're making money, which I think is so important. So the team's never paid until you get paid by the tenant. We'll advertise and show the property in a professional manner, and we're going to screen applicants. What does that mean? So we get their full-on credit checked. We screen their employment verification. We call their previous landlords, make sure that they don't have any evictions or lawsuits happening with previous landlords. So we make sure that all the green lights are there before we approve them as a candidate to present to you. And then we give you a little breakdown sharing who they are, why we think they're the best applicant for your property. And then we get the tenant to sign a lease that's been drafted up by the state, by their attorneys to protect you, us, and the tenants. We collect the rent and get that to you, and we provide monthly and year-end statements for your taxes. And then we conduct periodic inspections. So all of that is done through the property management team, and it's just a really good way to keep your eye on how your property is performing. Now, property management, how it sets us apart, you know, cancellation policy, if you're not happy, we're gonna, you know, obviously make you happy, but we're not trying to hold you to us. We have a huge software that helps easily read for you exactly how your property's doing, portals where you communicate with the property managers. And of course, you want to see how your property is performing on a regular basis, what repairs were done. It's all there at your fingertips at any time since there's a time difference. So just check out, you know, cost versus service, which is most important to you. I find that our cost versus service, our service way overtakes the cost based on what I've seen out there, why so many other people transfer to Marshall Reddick Property Management, and they were paying more than before they came to us, which I think is amazing. And that's how we have continued business and repeat clients. I think it's really important to hear what you hear today, but then go online and check us out. Check out what other people are saying about us, how they're enjoying their service, and most importantly, when you have a question, you want an answer right away. We have turnaround time in less than 24 hours, and I pride myself on that. Earlier, Christina had shared that we have over 600 units and growing. It's growing every day. Our goal is to lease out your property in less than 30 days. So basically, if we don't procure that tenant, we're going to make sure that it happens. Obviously, we're putting our word on the line, right? So what's next? I think it's really important now that you spent an hour with us to know what's next. An easy consultation. You can email me, you can text message me, however you would like to move forward. Christina and I are here to help, but my role as an advisor is to help you set your goals, evaluate what options make sense for you, decide on a timeline that's going to work for you and your life, and setting criteria back to that A, B, or C class neighborhood. What's going to work for you and the results that you want for your portfolio. Identify the market that makes sense for you. And then, of course, the most important part, we have that team in place. We're going to be able to introduce you to all the key players, the lender, the real estate agent, Christina, our insurance agent that's going to help you get that property insured. So we have everybody from lender to property manager, the whole 9 yards to make you a repeat client for life. So scheduling that complimentary consultation, take a picture with your cell phone or jot down my phone number. You can reach me directly, but I absolutely love real estate. As I shared before, I'm a numbers girl. I went to Cal State Long Beach University, did the FRL business degree, which is finance, real estate, law. And I'm here just to serve you guys. So however I can help you advance your real estate goals and reach your dreams, we're excited to help you do that. I want to be mindful of everybody's time. It's getting close to the top of the hour. So feel free to write in the chat box some questions that you have. Please go ahead and type those in. I would love to have you guys get whatever's on the top of your brain out so that it logs for us. And then that way we can give you, so if you obviously you answered the poll earlier, we'll get you those items that you've requested. And yeah, I really am excited to work with you. These are some of my clients that I've worked with. Clearly, that's only a few since I do 7 a month, but I really look forward to making you guys a part of this board. Thank you so much for your time and have a great night. Thank you so much, Christina, for all your time and energy. We appreciate you.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I hope you'll have a great night and a great weekend.
Thank you.